This is the BBC live programme. Here is the news.
Here is a two-part, 2-minute history of Bridge Farm. Bridge Farm occupies 140 acres at the foot of Hayden Barrow, south of Ambridge. To put that in perspective, it's larger than Brookfield was when Dan Archer bought it, but only a third of Brookfield's present size, and less than a tenth the size of Home Farm. In 1977, Bridge Farm's tenant, Jim Elliott, died, and Ralph Bellamy offered the tenancy to Tony Archer, who was his brother-in-law. Tony had previously been Ralph's dairy manager, until he was sacked, possibly unfairly, after an outbreak of brucellosis. He then entered into a partnership with Hayden Evans at Willow Farm, and had married Hayden's niece a couple of years previously. He and Pat had a toddler called John. They moved into Bridge Farm on February 1978 and bought themselves a second-hand herringbone milking parlour. Helen was born in 1979 and Tom in 1981, and the demands of the two younger children on Pat, a foot and mouth scare, and an outbreak of swine vesicular disease, meant that Pat and Tony drifted apart, with Tony starting to drink heavily much as his father had done. Things reached a crisis in 1984 when Pat decided to take the children on a CND march, and rumours abounded that she had been seen drinking in the Goat and Nightgown with Roger Coombs, her women's studies lecturer. When Pat returned from a conference in Wales, Tony immediately decamped to a conference of his own, coming back with an ultimatum for Pat. He was going to take Bridge Farm organic. Either she was with him or not. She agreed to transform the farm, and led the charge on branching out into yoghurt and ice cream production.